You've seen a decorative plate wall in maybe your favorite magazine. It adds interesting shape and can be a focal point for color. But just how are designers curating, mapping, and securing those plates to a flat wall? We called in an expert for that. Kari Fiagle has hung a number of plate walls for herself, also for friends. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
I love a good plate wall.
I do too. They're so
much
cool.
Character too in the china and the pieces you selected and how you hang them. Where do you think plate walls work well?
Well, the obvious answer would be in a dining room or a kitchen, but I've seen some really cool plate walls above a bed. I've seen them in an office area, like maybe collections that you've got on travel, some really bright plates. In an entry, I've seen them above a piano in a living room. So there's a lot of options, a lot of really fun, creative places you can put them.
So really, in this case, as we look through a few of these ideas and a few unique places where we can hang the so-called plate wall, the plates themselves become art.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, plates are really graphic. They're geometric shape, and so they have a graphic nature, which I think just really pops.
I have a little bit of experience with this. I went more traditional in terms of location. I had an odd wall in my kitchen above my cabinets. Yeah. It was super tall. It was slanted. I didn't know what to do with it. So with the help of a designer, my friend Mary Masivic, we hung this awesome plate wall.
Oh, I love it.
But it was really the only thing I could think of to fill that, unusual slanted gap. But again, the character it adds, I just love it.
Yeah, and the pops of color you put in there between the white, that's a really good application as well. So see, a pie too. I mean, really anywhere you could do a cool plate wall.
So what are some design principles? What are some things to consider?
Okay, so first thing is decide where you want it to be. Just get creative again, and then after you kind of know where you want to put that awesome plate wall, then you need to start collecting, or I like to call it curating. I don't know why, it's just because that's really what you're doing, is you're going all different places and looking for plates. So the first place I like to look is the Desert Industries.
Really?
Yeah, and especially if you're going to do a white plate wall. They have a lot of white odds and ends pieces there of just some really nice china. Sometimes you'll find some really nice, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a really expensive plate, and there's just one, and so it's really fun to just find them there. Especially the white ones you can find.
You
awesome
love the hunt. I can see that gleam in your eye.
Yes, it's the hunt. And they have a lot of really colorful ones there too, but IKEA offers a lot of really fun colorful plates.
Okay.
Taipan is probably another really great place for white plates. They're really inexpensive. You can find platters there if you wanted to hang a platter. So don't just stick to round. You could do oval. I have a square one here too.
Well, yeah, let's pause on the white plate wall idea. You want different textures, you want different shapes. Really, the more different the plates themselves are, the more unique your wall will be.
Right, really. And when it comes to white plates, you want to look for something with a texture, with a raised pattern, with a scalloped edge. That's really, like this one has like a little octagonal. I mean, it was like a dream when I found that. I was like,
this one?
Yeah, how cool is that? So just look for especially textured plates when it comes to, when you're looking for white.
If we're going for a colored plate wall, can we mix and match as easily, or is it a little more tricky to make it look cohesive?
It's a little bit trickier, but it still definitely can be done. Yeah.
Do you have a preference between the white wall or the colored plate wall?
I love the white plate wall. Yeah. It's totally classic, and it's timeless. It'll last forever. So.
How do we hang this? Do you map it out ahead of time? What do you do?
Okay, so first, after you gathered your plates, then you're going to want to figure out your pattern. So you're either going to do like an asymmetrical, which is, we know it's just random, but balanced. Okay, so random but balanced, which is kind of what your plate wall is. It's randomly placed, but still really balanced. Or symmetrical, which is a mirror image where it's right down the middle, and it's the same on either side. It doesn't have to be the exact same plate, but it's maybe the same size and the same placement.
See, I had to pause and think about this. So a symmetrical wall, I was trying to rack my brain, have I ever really seen one of those? But that's the key, is to mix up the plates within the pattern. Right, within the shape.
Right, within the shape that you come up with. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, the only two that I have are the same are these on either side. The rest of them are completely different. And it still is a symmetrical pattern.
All right, the nuts and bolts of how we're actually getting the plate on a flat wall. How do we install it?
Okay, so it's a little bit tricky to come up with your design. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit hard.
She's warning us ahead of time. Fair warning.
It's not hard per se, but it's gonna take a few tries. So collect a bunch of plates, even just by extra. Kind of be thinking about maybe what shape you want to do, if you want to do symmetrical, or an asymmetrical pattern. So lay it out on the floor is what you're gonna wanna do. Is just lay it out and just keep playing with it, keep moving it around, and eventually you'll come up with something that's balanced.
When it hits you, you'll know.
When it hits you, you'll know. So when you're doing a symmetrical plate wall like this, you have to be just a little bit careful that you don't create a face or a person. Okay, it's actually really easy to do because you could do 2 eyes and a mouth. You know, I mean, and then you look and I'm like, okay, that looks like legs all of a sudden. So
and you probably don't even know it until you really get it up on the wall and say, "Oh, hi, Bert," or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it will look like a person. So you got to be just a little bit careful that you're still a little bit ski-wampus and off.
You have to kind of embrace the imperfection with this, right? That was one thing hanging my own plate wall that I thought I'd stand back and get a little nervous, thinking, "Well, that doesn't line up. That doesn't match." You want it to be a little ski-wampus.
You do, actually, yeah. I mean, in the asymmetrical, I've had an asymmetrical pattern on my wall in my house, in my dining room for a really long time, and I love it. I'm kind of an asymmetrical person, but then sometimes I like the symmetric because it's the traditional. I feel like it's just really in place.
Okay, we've played with it. We have not created a person or a face. It's laid out on our floor. Now we're ready to hang.
Yes. So then one of the ways I found that was the easiest is I just, after I knew what size and I wanted it on the wall, I knew exactly where it was. Now yours probably wouldn't work with this because it was so big.
Right.
And for that you could just cut out a circle of the exact plate and just keep repositioning.
Okay.
Even
playing around with it.
Yeah, on the wall. Just take a circle.
So we've got a template.
Okay, so then what I did for this one is I did a template. And so I literally just laid it out on here, traced the plate with a pencil, and then found where my nail hole was going to be, determining where the hook is on the back that we're going to show you in a second. Put my finger there, pull the plate away, and put a little dot there. Tape this up on the wall.
And you hammer the nails through this.
Right through the paper, and pulled the paper off, and it works like a charm.
Okay, so what little gadgets are we using to hang these guys down?
Okay, so there's a couple of ways you can hang plates. You always see that plate hanger that you can find in the store. And I didn't really like that because I don't want to see the wires, you know, the bracket, and it sticks out a little bit too far from the wall. And so I came up with an idea to just get one of these little triangle hooks and take epoxy, which is this, and epoxy, it comes in 2 tubes. You squeeze it out, you have to mix it, and then it hardens. And
affix this to the back of the plates. And then you have a little nail hole.
Yeah, here's an example.
Ready to hang it.
Here's an example of what it would look like.
Okay. Now here's a fun concept too. Once you've gone to all this work, right, to map out the wall and you have it how you like it, you say you can switch out the plates.
Yeah, so I came up with this really fun idea because I don't know about you, but when I go into Target, IKEA in the spring, I get blown away by the fun things they come out with.
It's like pillows. There's always new plates.
It's the same thing for pillows, and I always change out my pillows. I have a neutral sofa. I change out my pillows all the time, and I love the white plate wall, but when I see like those fun, bright colored plates at Target, I was like, I want those colors in my house.
So we're going to swap this one out today, right?
Yeah, we're going to swap this out. So how you would do this effectively is you would find the exact same size plate in a different color and just hang it on the exact same in the exact same spot. So we'll go ahead and just show you how it is.
Kari's made it really easy today and numbered it for me.
Yeah, so I just numbered them, and we'll just take these off and we'll show you how easy it is to come up with a whole new look.
Okay, here we go. Switching them out, switching them out.
Okay. Okay, this one will stay with this new pattern that I've come up with.
Okay, that'll anchor us. These plates are darling.
So, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, let's see. This one goes here.
Those hooks just work so well.
Yes, they do. And the nice thing is they never come off. You're not going to have someone slams the door. And it's not going to come down.
They're secure enough.
Yeah.
Well, and this is plastic, so this plate I would have never known.
Yeah, another idea is that you can use melamine plates. They are really inexpensive, and they come in the brightest, funnest colors.
Okay, we've gone from white to a burst of color.
Yeah.
Kari, really fun. Really great advice, too, and ideas on how to hang that. Thanks so much. We're going to keep hanging.
Thank you.
Hanging. Oh, that's a pretty one right in the center.
Yeah, so I put a big colorful one in the middle.
Almost there, almost there. Fun to see the transformation. Right before your eyes, you now have a spring wall full of rainbow and color. Thanks, Kari. Super fun.
Thank you.